The CEO's ex-wife is a famous doctor.
Last night, in a private room in an exclusive club, Evan was spending time with his friends. His brown-coloured eyes narrowed at his drink. His perfectly sculpted and slightly bearded jaw clenched before gulping down a full glass of hard liquor. After settling the glass on the table, he ran his fingers through his dark brown hair and announced,
"I'm divorcing Shantelle."
Dead air fell upon the room, but soon one of his friends, Sean, asked,
"I can't believe this. Are you serious, Evan?" "He's dead serious, man. We all knew he was always envious of our single blessed life,"
Wendell remarked before gulping down a full glass of wine.
"What's going on?"
Keith arrived, curious about the purpose of their gathering. Sean Ross, Keith Henderson, and Wendell Franco had been good friends with Evan since high school. They parted ways when they studied at different colleges, but they had always communicated with each other. Sean and Wendell first glanced at Evan. Seeing he was seriously drinking his liquor, Wendell revealed,
"Evan is divorcing our beautiful Shanty." "What?"
Keith asked with a frown. He sat next to Evan and poured himself a glass of wine.
"Why? Why not?"
Evan said back,
"I never wanted to get married 2 years ago. I was 25 then, at the prime of my life. I had many plans. It was all my father's doing, and she wrote in on it. She's not that innocent." "But I thought you both were fine last year,"
Sean asked.
"Weren't you going out on occasional dates?" A few dinner dates were just a front to appease my father."
Evan scoffed. His response was his way of justifying his decision.
"I just endured it. But now that father no longer has the stamina to run the corporation and he has no choice but to hand me the full authority, I am free to make my own choices. Besides, I have had enough of her being constantly jealous and insecure,"
Evan added. There was silence between the four friends.
"Is this because of Nicole Lively?" "I don't know, man. I mean, you have been spending time with Nicole lately. Plus, you kept that a secret from Shanty. It's natural for Shanty to be jealous."
Wendell suggested.
"Who I make friends with is none of her business,"
Evan curtly pointed out and then indulged himself in another glass of alcohol.
"Whose side are you on?"
The temperature in their room dropped instantly. It took minutes and a few more drinks for Sean to break the ice. He asked,
"So you're only interested in becoming friends with Nicole? Or are you planning to make her your girlfriend after the divorce?"
Evan thought deeply about it. That was the plan before he was forced into marriage. Now many things had changed, but of course he still felt responsible for Nicole's well-being. Nevertheless, he wasn't sure how he felt about it. Despite his uncertainties, he retorted,
"Why not? I brought Nicole to Rose Hills 2 years ago with that intention."
Evan immediately noticed the varied expressions of his friends. Keith scoffed, Sean sneered, Wendell bit his lip. All the more irritation filled his heart.
"What the hell is wrong with all of you?"
Evan cast them an intimidating glare as he questioned.
"Nothing, Evan. It's just that—"
Sean cautiously looked at Wendell and Keith. When he confirmed their minds were synced, he said,
"We don't get you, Evan."
Keith nodded. He, for one, had known Shantelle and Evan since they were young. Evan used to cherish Shantelle, and their families always knew they would end up together. Everything changed when he came home one day and brought Nicole Lively.
"What do you mean you don't get me?"
Evan, in his stern voice, sought.
"Sure, they have similarities, but if you look closely, they're so far apart. And it's not just the look, it's everything else. Chantelle's background, her character."
Shaking his head, Keith said,
"Let me show you, Evan."
With his left hand raised above his head, he said,
"This is Shantelle."
Then he lowered his right hand below his waist and suggested,
"This is Nicole Lively." That's the difference between the two of them. Any man would want Shantelle over Nicole. We don't get how you like Nicole over your wife,"
Keith said in a sarcastic tone.
"Then
Evan yelled,
why don't you marry her?"
Angered by his friend's idea, Evan pushed the liquor bottles off the table, spilling the contents on the tiles. He got up and fixed his coat and acted to leave. Just when he had heard enough from his friends, Keith said back,
"Are you sure about that, Evan? Because if you're not interested in Shanty, I'd be more than happy to pursue her."
The thought of Keith wooing his wife filled his heart with fury. Keith was a known playboy. He dated women left and right. He did not deserve someone like Shantelle.
"Don't even think about it.